What's up, everybody? Listen, I know you guys. I know who watches my channel. I know a lot of you, you're on your way to a gas station right now because you're going to blow someone for that good classic vintage heroin. And as the guy in your phone on your lunch breaks, I got to tell you, stop, all right? Because there's a better and healthier way to get your high. You might have heard about it. It's called Feel Free. It's a plant-based herbal supplement that is made with natural leaf kratom. And it's available at your local gas stations and 7-Elevens. However, Feel Free has come under fire recently, like a man with undiagnosed chlamydia. Despite Feel Free's natural presentation, it seems to have the ability to destroy your life just as good as hard drugs. And it's all contained in this beautiful blue bottle. Unlike heroin, you can do Feel Free anywhere, anytime, without feeling shame. You can do it at church, in front of your family, during a meeting. You can even enjoy it at a gas station. But I'd be careful drinking it at a gas station because you might feel good enough that you'll go blow your heroin dealer anyway. I'm going to talk about some of the nasty side effects that people have experienced from this drink. I'm going to talk about an FDA ruling regarding kratom. And something I've not seen a lot of people bring up is, it seems, allegedly, in case the lawyers are watching, the CEO of the company that sells Feel Free seems to have changed his identity as a result of another crime he committed. And it wasn't a small one. So, yeah. So chill out and let's get into this gas station drink that seems to be ruining a lot of people's lives. For the past few weeks, this TikTok has gone viral. I know I've seen it. I assume a lot of you have. But if you haven't, it's basically this guy talking about how he went to a gas station and some kids were harassing him to buy them bottles of Feel Free. The guy told them no, and actually when he did, the children attacked him. And they said, I quote, DNT PMO GNG, TSFR PMO. IFR will up this shit on you and I won't go to jail because it's my dad's. I like thinking about Gen Alpha doing robbery and it leading to more deaths because millennials and other Gen Z legitimately cannot understand what they are saying or any of the references that they're putting out. This shit pissed me off. Now, personally, I saw the TikTok, I think, about 2 weeks ago, and it sent me down the Feel Free rabbit hole. And it's easy to find. It's about 10 feet wide in someone else's wallet. But you don't have to go into someone's bank account to see the effects of Feel Free. All you have to do is search Feel Free on TikTok, Google, Reddit, DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, Bing, and you'll easily find the brutal effects of this drink. For now, I just want to bring up this lady, Lauren, who was covered in People magazine. Covered in People magazine just sounds like smut. And I'm sorry that my brain tends to go there often. I lived an unsupervised childhood with unlimited amounts of porn. I'm sorry.
Go porn, go. Go porn, go.
Mom becomes addicted to Feel Free energy shot, consuming 8 a day. Quote, I couldn't stop. And, you know, if you're talking about shit addictions, I mean, this is cheaper than magic. So for someone like me, compelling. Truly. Now, consuming 8 of these a day, if you just look at that bottle, you're thinking, what could that be, you know? $4 or $5. On their website right now, it's a whopping $13.13 per bottle. But if you subscribe, you can get them for $9 a bottle. So if she's consuming 8 a day, it's not tough to do the math on that. I mean, she's running through, I don't know, $700, $800 a week at least. Sorry. I'm burping up because I just had my Feel Free. When I read this line, me personally, I would be frightened that anything from a gas station could feel that good, you know? Because whether you're buying liquor or scratchers from a gas station, I think all that stuff has a certain element of, like, I know I'm doing something shitty, either to myself or to my wallet, but you're okay with it. And I would be scared of something that made me feel this good and looked as innocuous as it does. Also, the bottle looks like the health potion from Doom 2. I just started imagining that's how the gas station starts to look after you get hooked on these things. You just start just running through crackheads and regular customers with a chainsaw to get to your Feel Free bottles. At the time, Lauren was sober and remembers thinking, I really miss drinking, and this is a great replacement, and it's not making me visibly messed up. She said it scratched the itch. I wish I could ask her what she meant by not visibly messed up. Like, is she physically feeling blacked out, but on the surface she's just... That contrast kills me, to just be sitting, you know, I don't know, with your family having dinner, and you're quietly blacked out, you know? You're fucking just annihilated in your body. But having a conversation with your kid about like I don't know, a spelling test. Imagining your body just completely blacked out. You're driving like shit. You get pulled over for it. You start going through the motions of a DUI test, and you're passing with flying colors. You feel like a Jedi Master, dude. I am not the alcoholic you seek. Your body feels so good. You drive through the front of a Smart and Final, but you get up out of there, and you just. My bad. It's the feel free. It's got me feeling really good. Taking out half a warehouse on a forklift, and they're like, what's wrong with you? You're like, I don't know. I'm good, honestly. Lauren says at the start of her feel-free addiction, she was drinking 1 bottle a day and then quickly moved up to 2. By December, Lauren was drinking up to 8 bottles of feel-free a day, spending thousands on the product. Kratom acts on your opioid receptors. It can cause dependence and withdrawal symptoms, no different than using opioids. She decided to quit after struggling financially to support her feel-free habit. This is something you need to steer clear of. It will ruin you financially, mentally. Can you imagine the company lawyer reading about this, calling the CEO? Hey, bud. What? It's destroying customers financially and mentally? Get me on the phone with production. Let's up it 200%. Now, what Lauren describes is pretty terrible, and when you look at TikTok, the spectrum of what Feel Free seems to have done to people goes from this to far, far worse.
My name is Jasmine. I was addicted to the little blue bottles called Feel Free by Botanic Tonics. They have these ingredients in them, and I was drinking anywhere from 9 to sometimes 10, 11, 12 bottles a day at the height of my addiction. First thing I was marketed about this product was that it was going to give me a natural energy boost, which it did at first, and I really loved the effects of this because I would take it sometimes instead of coffee, or I would take it to go out with friends and just have a little bit of a natural energy booster. But because the high from these things is so short-lived, you're left craving another one pretty much instantly about 30 minutes after. So it got to a point where I was just craving one after another, and I was taking so many, like I had mentioned, that I became incredibly lethargic, tired. Just if I was not taking these, I was just a waste of a person, just not doing anything.
I would go down to the produce stand and I would get there 15 minutes early in hopes that they would open early because I was just tweaking out in withdrawals and
stuff. I could not do anything without it. It had infiltrated every single part of my life. For social outings, taking it to work, I was taking it to work out. I needed it to get out of bed in the morning. I literally needed it at every moment of the day.
So naturally, people on TikTok, after they see people in the hospital and others saying, hey, this drink destroyed my life, naturally, they want to post themselves drinking it as well.
Now that I'm seeing like video after video and people talking about how they were like so addicted to it and how it like made them feel like so euphoric and all this stuff, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for saying this, but like you're really just like making me want to try it at this point. I feel like for science I have to try this drink.
I was on TikTok the other day and this guy was like talking about how like this kid was trying to get him to buy something at the gas station.
So I've been seeing everywhere this Feel Free, and
Look, all right, I don't go flooding this woman's TikTok account with hate or anything like that. I just think it's really funny. I just can't not laugh at copious amounts of people saying, hey, this shit is like heroin, and buying a bottle and going on TikTok being like, thanks for joining my live. I'm doing heroin needle ASMR.
everything I've seen on it has been super negative and awful and bad, and everyone's like, oh, it's highly addicting, it's bad for you, and so naturally now I want to try it.
Dude, I've been seeing all these people online talk about the awful nature of the war in Iraq, and so naturally I want to try it for myself. Also, if you're going to hit me with the false equivalency, hey man, America treats war veterans and addicts the same. It's your problem now.
So thanks for all those educational videos about how not to drink this, because I literally went to the gas station, they asked for my ID, and I drove back home to get my ID so I could get this to try it. So
Fucking shit, dude. No such thing as bad PR, I guess.
we're gonna try it and give a review today. So here we go. Does not smell good. Okay, I probably should read the directions. Hang on. Okay, glad I read the directions because this is 2 servings. It has like a line that says first serving, second serving.
Now keep that in mind that the bottle now has markings for 2 servings. Every single post of someone trying this for the first time, there's always a comment asking, how did you feel afterwards? Dude. Are you going to tell us how it made you feel? Sorry, my dog died last night. We'll give an honest review in a few days. Turn up for that dead dog one time. But wait, there's more. Oh my god, I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you. She was 14, but I didn't think she'd just die in her sleep randomly like that. Shout out to this girl, man. It's hilarious. I think my grandma just died randomly in her sleep like that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we were in Afghanistan, but I didn't think we'd lose our legs to an IED like that. I don't know.
Today, I'm going to be reviewing this drink. Feel free, if you haven't seen it on TikTok, then you're probably not on TikTok. If you went down the rabbit hole, I will tell you that I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm getting into, but I have to try it anyways. And I'm not going to take it more than once. This is the only drink, you can buy it at a gas station, there's no alcohol in it, so let's get that off the table. But everyone needs a review, obviously.
What's crazy to me is so many people made these reviews going, you know, I'll be the one to show everyone how it really feels. And that's kind of what the company wants. They want a ton of people posting, hey, like they're doing the damage control for them. It's insane. And none of them process how addiction works. That's the whole point. You start with one and it's a slow creep. It doesn't feel like it's going to destroy you. And they completely just overlook that. Also, the reaction that all these people have when they take it for the first time is hysterical.
Ew! Ugh. What is that?
Bro.
I don't think this needs to be said, but just in case, you don't need to buy this drink. You don't need to make a TikTok of you drinking it. No one needs a feel-free Kratom unboxing, all right? There's plenty out there. Pursue another idea. Speaking of Kratom, that is the controversial part of this drink, and Mr. RFK does not like it.
Hi, it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. here, your HHS secretary.
I find Kratom to be a potent opioid that poses an emerging public health threat on the American people. I really feel that if people want a K-hole, they should just do it the classic way with ketamine. Thank you.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health.
I had to learn about something called 7-OH. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the actual name of it. Here, we'll include, one of those Google search results that tells you how to say the word.
I'm over here stroking my dick.
7-OH is to be classified as a Schedule I substance under the Controlled Substances Act. 7-OH is an oxidative byproduct compound found in trace amounts in dried leaf kratom. So that is seemingly the really dangerous part of kratom, is the trace amounts of 7-OH. And I guess kratom, if you're like a kratom head, you can comment maybe more detail. But as I understand it, it seems that there's a difference between plain leaf kratom and kratom extract. So maybe people take extract for, stronger effect. Whereas if you're doing plain leaf kratom, you're kind of playing with Mother Nature, and if you happen to get a little bit of that good 7-OH, yay. no pun intended. In the FDA's words, these isolated 7-OH derivatives exhibit serious adverse effects and are illegal on the state and federal levels. Now, I've just reading the Quitting Feel Free subreddit, people seem to say that Feel Free, in their experience, uses fermented kratom, which maybe exacerbates the effects. It started to get a bit complicated for me as to why people think the drink is addictive. And I don't think why it's addictive really matters. I think what's just important is it seems that enough people have had an addictive experience with this that you should very, very much question ever drinking this drink, all right? And again, I'm speaking carefully because I don't want to get sued. Now, here's what's great, right? The FDA rules that 7-OH is the problem, but plain leaf kratom is all right. And if you go to Feel Free's website, they use this as a big shield to go, hey, we're good. But they know pretty full well that they're not good. Just like listen to some of the language on their website. Crucially, the FDA's recommendation applies only to products containing concentrated, unnatural levels of 7-OH, not products that contain natural leaf kratom like Feel Free Classic. Dried leaf kratom is a whole plant product harvested from the Southeast Asian tropical tree known as man. I'm glad we got rid of Latin because I'd be illiterate and unable to speak. Shout out to the American 21st century. I don't want to ever use that Latin shit, man. Kratom enjoys inherent consumer trust through centuries of safe use, commonly consumed in forms such as capsules, powders, teas, and liquid suspensions. 7-OH products bear absolutely no resemblance to the natural leaf kratom products that are used by more than 23 million Americans. Both kava root and leaf kratom provide a range of benefits, but are often misunderstood. Our belief is that consumers have the right to understand what they are consuming. Botanic Tonics proudly supports research and education, upholds the highest quality standards, and advocates for consumer access while prioritizing safe consumption practices. By fostering a better understanding of these botanicals, we can empower consumers to make informed choices. Here's another good quote from the company that sells Feel Free, from that People article. Additionally, we voluntarily raised the minimum purchase age for all products to 21 plus and added visible serving size indicators, clear ingredient information, and comprehensive warnings. So originally I wrote, so they basically changed the font. And I actually went to the Quitting Feel Free subreddit, where people are using this stuff actively. And that actually is what they said. You'll now notice the newest bottles that it says leaf kratom, and it used to say kratom leaf. The font is also smaller. Pretty nasty that they were just letting anyone buy it. And then after, who knows, maybe a couple years of overlooked use, then they're going to say, oh, you got to be 21 to buy it. Also, that line, just adding that line, deviously letting them know, oh, by the way, you've been doing double shots. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. Pretty scummy. Now, I've seen people say, they actually are fine with this product on the market. We just need clear and transparent marketing about what the product will do to you. And that made me think of like graphic warning labels on cigarettes. And those seem to work. The last time I was in Europe, I was in Belgium, and I went into a convenience store, and behind the clerk's head, they had all these cigarette packs, and it was just like corroded lungs, hearts, feet. I remember the second row, it had a bunch of cigarette packs, and they were wrapped in like before and after images. How the person looked before using cigarettes, and then sometimes literally them in the hospital. And transparently, I noticed a lot of those people were very attractive. Like, they intentionally chose these very sexy people. And it's crazy because I bet, despite them passing from cancer, rest in peace, they were hot, and then when they started smoking, they probably got hotter. Like, they enjoyed a certain period where they were, like, extremely hot, and then they died. Which, 60 versus 70, I mean, what are you really missing, right? Don't smoke cigarettes. This is another thought I had, but, like, there were other cartons that had the effects of cigarettes on an unborn fetus. And I remember thinking, if I am a pregnant person grabbing this pack of cigarettes and I'm looking at that, I don't know if that's deterring me so much as it's like reinforcing my goal, Like, it's letting me know I'm headed the right direction. If a pregnant woman is drinking this stuff, the kid will come out addicted. It got me thinking maybe that's why Mr. Beast invented Feastables. Maybe he was trying to get people addicted to his videos before they got out of the womb. Just a theory I have, not slander or libel. But all that to say, maybe that's what the Feel Free bottles need. Maybe they need to be wrapped in images of people in like financial ruin or fetuses addicted to kratom. Those kids might come out kind of cool, so there's kind of a problem there. Or maybe it's images of families whose entire financial safety was destroyed because of Feel Free. And maybe that'll get people to stop buying it. Now, the company that sells this, Botanic Tonics, they are not without their controversies, right? In 2023, they settled like a massive class action lawsuit. When you try to look up this class action, the results seem fairly like sanitized. I don't know if they had this stuff removed. According to classaction.org, it looks like it was about $9 million. And there's another website here where you can actually claim your piece of the $9 million. But what's crazy is the class action was because they were marketing this drink as an alcohol alternative. So if you remember Lauren at the top of this video, who was trying to beat like an alcohol addiction, she sees this, she sees that it's herbal, it's giving the same effects. And that term herbal can trick a lot of people, right? And so she has no idea that she's drinking, a liquid drug that is fairly unregulated, not knowing that she's probably developing a worse addiction. Pretty scummy that they only end up paying about $9 million, right? Now, this all kind of comes together for me because I started just looking up clips from the CEO on TikTok, and then I went to like this podcast, which is on YouTube. But this quote from him has been going around on TikTok, and I think it kind of illustrates where he's at.
And my response is, and I've always thought this, is that anything that makes you feel good can be habit forming, whether that's sugar, sex, whatever. You can, and some people are going to overindulge. That's not really, I think, the question you should ask.
Oh, what's the question we should ask, man?
The question you should ask is, if I consume this on a regular basis, is it going to hurt me? Because if you find something that makes you feel good, you're going to consume it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And, we've not seen any data that would say that, unless you're just go crazy on it, which, you can OD on water if you want to drink too much of it.
Happens at raves all the time.
I love that comparison, dude. Hey, man, people rolling their balls off on Molly, OD on water all the time. Which is apt, because I think people who are going crazy on Feel Free are maybe in a similar fucking mind state. So obviously this guy leading this company, he's kind of putting it on the consumer. Hey, it's kind of your responsibility. It's up to you handling how you intake anything in life. Feel Free is no different than anything else in this world. And really it comes down to your personality, not anything we're putting in the drink. Now this brings me to my next point, which is, me personally, this is an opinion. I don't know if you can trust this guy, because it seems, allegedly, it would appear that this guy is going under a different name. He bears an uncanny resemblance to a gentleman named Jerry Cash, which is just, why watch TV? This stuff just writes itself. Former Quest Company's CEO Jerry Cash sentenced to serve 9 years in federal prison in 2010 after he admitted concealing the theft of more than $10 million from the companies. Soon will be released from prison after secret court proceedings. Wait, now hold on. Anyone complaining about a CEO doing crime can right off. A good CEO has probably done some crime. That's the reality. Because a good CEO is willing to cut some corners, break some rules to make some fucking money. If a CEO hasn't done some crime, they're probably not very good at their job. Okay, look at the best CEOs in the world. They've all done crime. They're so good at their jobs that sometimes their employers have to kill them in a parking lot. A good CEO has done a little bit of embezzlement at least. And they've definitely fucked their assistant. So I don't know where all these complaints come in about, oh, a CEO has done crime. That's not right. Sounds like a bunch of pussies to me. Now, this is crazy. This is almost to the fucking day. It's like 20 years later. In an order handed down August 7th, U.S. District Court Judge Stephen P. Frito moved to reduce Cash's original sentence to 3 years and 3 months after a round of court proceedings that were closed to the public. Cash's attorney, this is another great name, Billy Bach, said he could not discuss why Cash's sentence was reduced because much of the proceedings had been sealed. It was a very sensitive matter, Bach said. We have been working on it for a few years and it all came to fruition at a court hearing last week. I found an obscure comment that claims Jerry Cash, whoever Jerry Cash is, got out on like a witness protection thing because he gave up information to a 3-letter agency. I'm not here to weave conspiracy. That's the most I could find, and you can find that too if you go looking. It's not that hard. Now, just to reiterate the seemingly uncanny resemblance, I just want to pull out this Oklahoman archive. And by the way, very fitting if Jerry Cash is now CEO of Botanic Tonics, J.W. Ross. Very fitting that he would come from OKC. Another Kratom CEO. That's actually what OKC stands for.
Hello, I'm Don Mecoy. I'm a business news reporter with the Oklahoman, and I'm joined today by Jerry Cash. Jerry's the Chief Executive Officer of Quest Resource Corporation and Quest Energy Partners, both natural gas companies based here in Oklahoma City. Thanks for coming in today, Jerry. Appreciate you being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Now, as of last year, I've been calling him the CEO, but J.W. Ross, the guy who looks similar to Jerry Cash, is the company's founder. He is now the chairman of the board, and he had stepped down as of last year as a CEO, but would still be involved in the company operations. And that's according to their website. I find it to be incredible that you can sell something so seemingly visibly destructive, and you can fly under the protection of, well, it doesn't harm everyone, right? It brings up a lot of arguments of freedom and what products you can put in the free market, and then things like regulation. I'm not here to talk about any of that. I don't think you guys watch my channel for deeper discussions about regulating the free market and what you're free to sell in this country. But on the off chance you're seeking some sort of discussion about that, I think the choice is pretty clear. You can either continue living your regular life and have control of your mental state and your wallet, or you can risk it all to drink that beautiful little blue bottle. Seemingly, allegedly, it would appear, based on others' experiences. Not my own. I realize I don't do a good soy face. You really got to get your jaw unlocked if you want a soy face. You know, I've been giving it a good old, but you got to really. I guess I've never been that shocked. It kind of hurts. Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite cell phone is targeting big backs. I'm talking about Donnie J. Trump. I know that was bad, but just follow me all the way with it. The Trump administration announced it is launching a new program that will allow Americans to share personal health data and medical records across health systems and apps run by, wait for it, private tech companies, promising that will make it easier to access health records and monitor wellness. More than 60 companies, including major tech companies like Google, Amazon, and Apple, as well as healthcare giants like United Health Group, and CVS Health have agreed to share patient data in the system. You hear that, guys? You hear that? Apple, Amazon, and Google have agreed to share patient data in the system. Boy, I can't stop smiling. The initiative will focus on diabetes and weight management, conversational artificial intelligence that helps patients, and digital tools such as QR codes and apps that register patients for check-ins or track medications. Now, before I say another word, if you're already seeing where I'm going with this, yes, doctors' visits are going to be full of ads. This program starts in 2026, so starting next year, you can expect your doctor to give you a lot more ad reads in person. Now, I do have to caveat this. I think mostly men will be blindsided by these ads. Women are prepared for this type of thing. There's a lot of guys watching this video right now that will die having gone to the doctor somewhere between this many and this many times. And that's it. But that's all about to change. Now, this program hasn't kicked off yet. Again, it's supposed to start next year. Now, here's a part that I am really interested in. Dr. Oz says we're going to have remarkable advances in how consumers can use their own records. Keep that in mind. Here's the next best part. Popular weight loss and fitness subscription service Noom, which has signed on to the initiative, will be able to pull medical records after the system's expected launch early next year. That might include labs or medical tests that the app could use to develop an AI-driven analysis of what might help users lose weight. I almost said losers. And that is a bad human moment that we will leave in the edit. CEO Jeff Cook told the Associated Press, apps and health systems will also have access to their competitors' information too. Noom would be able to access a person's data from Apple Health, for example. Now, listen to this scummy little statement. Right now you have a lot of siloed data. That's what the CEO of Noom is saying. Right now you have a lot of siloed data. It's all separate. But once I can get my hands on all of it together, then we can help you. We can help you. No, don't be scared. We're helping you. It's us, Big Tech. We're here to help you. I promise I'm getting to a point with all this. Just follow me all the way. First things first, the term big back, no longer a social term, all right? You're going to have to earn it. You can't just, I'm a big back. Oh my God, I ordered a bunch of food. I'm a big back. No, you are not a big back. Pull out your federal health profile and show us that you're a big back. Because what I see here is that I'm a federally confirmed big back. Cholesterol 350, calcium in my left main ventricle, risk for heart disease. I'm a real big back. What are you? Oh, you ordered a 20-piece from DoorDash? Get the fuck out of here. Naturally, this announcement attracted a lot of privacy advocates, people basically saying, hey, I don't know if your personal health information will necessarily be safe. It might be protected, but we don't know if it won't be used against you or used in a harmful way. Now, to be fair, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, they're the ones in charge of maintaining the app. They say that patients will need to opt in for the sharing of their medical records and data, which will be kept secure. Now, I think that's a clever way to fleece this because, opt-in probably means when you create an account, you're just going to have to opt in right there. Hey, if you'd like to use this app at all and have the benefit of having your health records all in one place, you're going to have to opt in. Thank you. Now, again, tech companies having access to our direct health records at this point, they might as well, right? Amazon might as well know if I have IBS, all right? You might as well just AI my entire grocery shopping list based on my health records. Fuck it. Put a hole in my head, put a Neuralink in there. I don't even want to think. Just track everything in my body and have it all come to my house, and I'll never have to think again. It'll be a conscious lobotomy. It's going to be great. But never mind that, all right? Half the reason I'm making this video and I brought up women going in for skincare and all this is because if you read this full article and you read the quotes from people in the administration and the tech companies that are part of this program, it's a lot of careful language. But we know what this is, all right? We know what it's going to turn into. But again, most people and privacy advocates are calling out, with this quote, this scheme is an open door for the further use and monetization of sensitive and personal health information, which brings me to my main point. How awesome is it going to be when you go to the doctor and he's looking at you and he goes, hey, you thought about downloading Noom? Now it won't be an influencer telling you to download Noom. It'll actually be your doctor going, no, it's got great benefits. I mean, you'll get to come in here less, right? All right. And it's got an AI tool that'll learn what you're eating and it'll tap into your Apple Watch and your glucose monitor, all that stuff. And it'll create a nice little AI roadmap for you for the rest of your life. You maybe never even have to come into the doctor again, huh? And coming in 2027, on-demand antidepressants. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Re-up whenever, wherever. Wherever? Oh, yeah, because DoorDash is getting involved. Yeah. But you got to opt in. You got to opt in if you want all of this. Yeah. Let me paint you a fun conspiracy. You open DoorDash one night and you go, you know what? I think I'm going to go for the 50-piece from Wingstop. So you search for Wingstop in your area. And you're looking at it, but all the photos on DoorDash for Wingstop are gray. You're going, that's weird. I'm not a dog. You go to click on it, and it's not letting you click through. There's just a little icon with the letter I in it. You're going, what the fuck? You click it. A little box pops up. Your doctor has manually disabled Wingstop from your order list. You're going, what the fuck? That's the only message you get. Please contact your main healthcare provider through the Noom app with a smiley face. You're like, Noom? I didn't even download Noom. You download Noom. You put in your name and it goes, welcome back. You go, what the fuck? I never signed into this app ever. Once you're in Noom, it's got a photo of your doctor and they're smiling. A little notification. You have 15 unread messages from your doctor. You're going, what the hell? You're swiping through your messages and there's just little automated messages from your doctor. Hey, I noticed your order activity in Postmates. I've gone ahead and disabled Wingstop from Postmates to help you out. Hey, I've noticed you've been doing a lot of ordering in DoorDash for Taco Bell. Hey, I noticed a lot of late night binge orders from 7-Eleven. I've gone ahead and disabled that from your DoorDash and Postmates app. Then you're going to look at your girlfriend. Yo, dude, my doctor disabled Wingstop through the Noom app? Yeah, I opted in too. Now, again, a big part of this program is supposedly helping Americans with their weight management. So it makes sense that they would bring in Noom, the company that some people felt gave them an eating disorder. And it's worth warning you now, if you opt into using Noom because your doctor's got a good smile, you should just know that you're never going to be able to cancel the sign up. That's satire. JK. If you're a Noom lawyer watching this, please leave me alone. I am joking. Now, I want to have some fun here and paint an even darker conspiracy, all right? Now, mind you, this is all for entertainment purposes. All right, so this article came out, and some people swiftly remembered RFK and his affinity for wearables. This guy really likes the Apple Watch. I thought of this article specifically. RFK Jr. wants everyone to use wearables. What are the benefits? Risks.
It's a way people can take control over their health. We think that wearables are a key to the MAHA agenda, making America healthy again. My vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years.
Huh? All right. Now picture this. You don't even go to the doctor anymore. You go in through your Meta Quest goggles in your living room. You put these on, and the first thing you get before you visit your doctor in your Quest goggles is an ad. Download the Noom app. Sync all of your doctor's information to your phone. Then the next screen is, do you have your Meta wearable yet? Get your Meta wearable today on discount through your HSA account. Then you go to your AI doctor. And what's great about your AI doctor is it's not that fucking, stinky guy your age, right? You get to choose how they look. Everyone gets to have their own fantasy at the doctor's office, which is going to be interesting when we can choose who our doctor is and, all the guys are going to sit there and answer for their crimes. No, it's just a checkup. It's just a checkup. But the rest of you'll be somewhat normal. You'll have a semi-attractive virtual doctor. You won't go too crazy, but something that's nice on the eyes. And you're going to have your regular check-in. Hey, I've been looking at your Meta wearable. The data feels a little inconsistent. Are you wearing it on your wrist? You go, yeah, like I always do. Huh. Interesting. Do you tend to get sweaty? Maybe you're taking it off at night. Sometimes I take it off at night. Yeah, but I don't sweat that much, but I don't know. Maybe it's just old. Yeah, maybe. We've done some research and we find that putting your Meta wearable on your ankle has a lot better performance. Really? Yes. There are many benefits of wearing your Meta wearable on your ankle. Would you like me to read you them? I mean, I guess I trust it. I'll give it a shot. Starting tomorrow, I'll start tracking you through the Noom app to make sure that you're wearing your Meta wearable on your ankle. Oh, okay. Appreciate it. Anything else? No. Let's reconvene in 90 days and see how you're doing at that point. All right. And fast forward, you're sitting around with your medical wearable on your ankle. You do that for a few months and then, you've been trying to stick to the diet, but the notifications are getting overwhelming. You're starting to hit up people on the side. You're asking the people to buy you cheeseburgers for cash. You're trying to get around all this information that's being fed back to your doctor constantly. You're trying to put on this image that you're healthy, but, some things are getting through. You're starting to look at videos by former felons teaching you how to get your medical wearable off your ankle because they have experience with ankle monitors. But that doesn't work because it triggers a call to your house, and you say, oh no, it was a mistake. I think I ripped my sock off too hard. So sorry, officer. The pressure is compounding, the notifications, all the data, all this stuff is getting into your head about your health. Suddenly you just snap. You open up Postmates, you open up DoorDash, you open up Uber Eats, you use a VPN, you got Wingstop, a 200-piece. You max out at Taco Bell, Del Taco, you do it all. And then you sit there waiting, watching all those orders on all those different apps, praying to God they show up, hoping that they show up before the authorities find out, and then your door gets kicked in and you get 5150 because you wanted a 200-piece from Wingstop. You opted in, by the way. What's up, everybody? Today, I have a lot to say. Per usual, you guys know I'm a certified yapper, but today I want to talk about the male need for competition. And I know that sounds very big brain. That sounds like I'm going to try to say something intelligent. I'm not. I'm just going to talk about Zen. But in order for me to do that, I really want to set all this up by saying I've thought a lot about, at least my, as a dude, my personal desire to win. I really believe a dude's interest in winning, just being better than another dude, is deadly. If you can attach a point system to most things, I think most guys are prone to being addicted to it. This is why I like Counter-Strike. This is why I've played Quake 3 all my life, and I like pool. I like racing. I think I'm pretty much willing to pick up any hobby as long as I know that it's competitive at all. And so how all this relates to Zyn is that I have just learned that Zyn, the chewing tobacco, the beautiful mouth tobacco, those wonderful soft white pillows that young men across America and women are putting in their mouth, that beautiful gentrified chewing tobacco, each one of those cans is worth points. So this whole time I thought people had a nicotine addiction, which they do, but more than that, mentally, every Zyn user has been in a Dave & Buster's this entire time. Let me show you what I mean by that. On the Zyn Rewards website, you can buy a number of different things. A Blue Tees Golf Player Bluetooth GPS speaker, a Blackstone camping stove and griddle, Italy's finest Uni Karu 12 multi-fuel pizza oven, a Kendra Scott Addison triple strand necklace, the highly coveted Traeger Tailgater 20 grill/smoker. Now, obviously, in context of Dave & Buster's, this is all top shelf stuff, right? If you've ever been to an arcade with tickets, all of these items I'm listing are the stuffed animals hanging from the ceiling, the autographed basketballs at the top of the wall. We got to start basic, right? So let's go down to the Zyn Rewards equivalent of bubblegum, a sticker, an army man with a plastic parachute, stuff that costs 10 or 15 tickets. The Zyn Rewards program gets going with a t-shirt. That's kind of bottom barrel. The Turn It Up t-shirt, which, as far as t-shirts are concerned, this makes me want to turn it up. I'm trying to be funny here, but this t-shirt color is fucking disgusting. I've always wanted a t-shirt with clip art instruments on what looks like to be a giant backwood. Now, the Turn It Up t-shirt is a measly 342 points. Pretty easy to accomplish. When you break it down, a can of Zyn is 15 points. And a can of Zyn is about $6. All it costs is $136.
Holy shit.
All right, so with that in mind, now let's take a look at some people showing off what they've won from the Zyn Rewards program. Blackstone Grill, we called that out in the beginning. Now, Zyn offers, a couple different Blackstone grills, but this one in particular is 8,280 points. Now, I'll give you a second to figure out how much it costs. 3,312. If you're smart, you got that already, and if you're an idiot, well, I don't know what else to tell you. This is how you found out. $3,000 for that grill, which is available now for just $400 on their website. So, obviously, you can see it's like the most insane exchange rate and a nasty little way to try to get you to keep consuming Zyn because everyone's argument is you're going to do it anyway. The reality is you can only scan in about $360 worth of Zyn cans a month. So It would take you the better part of a year doing 2 cans of Zyn a day to eventually get this grill. But again, I'm looking at this in the framing of regular money, working for your money. And that's not what's going on here, right? Everyone's popping the pillows to grind. When you see these guys zinning out, they are in the Dave & Buster's. They're in the arcade. Now, let's just look at a few more videos of people showing off what they got.
The day is finally here. The day we've been waiting for. The day we've worked so hard for.
$3,780 points for this Nespresso machine. I can't not show this and without saying these videos do not feel real. These feel like cheap forms of marketing where Zyn, pays someone to create this video. It looks authentic, and then they distribute it to a bunch of like clip channels and stuff like that. And then eventually a YouTuber picks it up for commentary. And then before you know it, hundreds of millions of people are trying to get the Nespresso Virtue Next Deluxe. But I digress. 3,780 points. Let's see what that is. Sam, can you come up with a clever way to do this math not in my computer search?
That look good.
So in real money, this Nespresso machine, by way of Zyn cans, is $1,500. But on their website, it's $179. So what I'm saying is, if you own one of these through the Zyn Rewards program, it's worth more. That's worth 250 cans of Zyn. You need a whole squad putting this stuff down. Now, I'm not being creative when I think about this. I'm thinking about this as like a solo mission. If you got a group of guys and it's 5 of you living in a house, well, now you're talking about really grinding it out. The same way you would team up at Dave & Buster's, all 4 of you on some kind of weird coin shooting ticket machine. Now we're getting enterprising about it. This must be what it feels like to open a Bitcoin wallet after 5 years. You go, I think I had some Bitcoin. This is probably what it feels like. You just come across it, you're like, oh my God, this has to be like 1,000 points right here. This is 1/7 of a Yeti cooler with the Zyn logo on it. This is 1/7 of a Traeger, bro. Do you even understand the value of the Traeger? And this is so great. This guy is showing proof that they bought the Traeger for 11,000 points. To show your DMV tags for your Traeger, brother, it's mine. First owner, through and through. It's just... Zyn is smart, all the products, they're not just oriented towards the boys. It ain't all just fucking grills and dumb t-shirts. They got highly coveted items in the lady world, as I would put it. The Dyson Airwrap. When I said the lady world, I know the girls you're watching are like, what could he mean? And I snatched those words right out of your face and I said the Dyson Airwrap, because now you're going, oh. And you're looking at your boyfriend smoking vape and you're like, get on Zyn. Stop it. Be a man. You're such a pussy. Stop smoking apple juice. Get on Zyn. Okay? Mommy needs a Dyson Airwrap.
I used to hate the fact that my fiance would chew these little Zyn pouches until I found out you guys...
Time out. This feels like an ad, right? These all feel like bullshit. Who talks like this besides someone trying to sell something in the TikTok shop? I hated the fact that my fiance would use nicotine pouches.
You guys can actually scan this QR code back here and get rewards, which is insane. I love it. You guys can save your points up. You get 15 points every time you scan a code, and you guys can save the points up to get Yetis. They have a Dyson Airwrap, Kate Spade jewelry.
Lindsay Nicole, when you post this PSA, you gotta nail the talking points, okay? Yeti cooler for the boys, but again, make sure. What is it? Dyson Airwrap, Kate Spade jewelry. Exactly.
Kendra Scott, just about everything is on there, you guys. Check it out if you guys have somebody near.
And there's a child in the car. Did I hear that correctly?
Everything is on there, you guys. Check it out.
Not now, honey. Mommy has to do her Zyn promo. I used to hate when my boyfriend would get mouth cancer, but now I don't even think twice about it. Cunnilingus or not, mommy needs a Dyson Airwrap, and daddy's gonna get it for me.
Out if you guys have somebody in your life that uses the Zen pouches. It's so cool.
I'm sorry, let's run that back, dude. What a close.
Check it out if you guys have somebody in your life that uses the Zen pouches. It's so cool.
Whoever the CIA uses to incite riots and political unrest, this is who has been employed by Zen. I'm convinced Zen has tapped retired CIA and FBI directors to really fucking poison pill. This is such nasty covert marketing. I can't believe this. What's up, girlies? I found this cute flower basket to carry around my husband's Zen cans. Now when I'm at home, I feel like I have an indoor homestead garden because I kind of walk around and just go picking for strawberries. Strawberry flavored Zins, of course, which convert into points, which will allow me to buy my Dyson Airwrap, trademarked. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I wish I could see the marketing emails around these, dude. This is next level. This is next level scumbag, dude. You know, in the 2000s, housewives got made fun of for doing extreme couponing. You know, frugal guys got raked over the coals for doing extreme couponing. But this is a different version of that. You know, this is taking advantage of the junk that's just laying in your house. For some people, when they learn this information, it must be like Scrooge McDuck sitting on his pile of coins. You must literally feel like a pirate when you're looking into this box of just wasted cans. Every frat house that has, I don't know, I assume these guys put the cans on the wall or they stack them up like staffs, something like that. They must look at that then and just see bars of gold. You know, I can take this to the Zen market and exchange my plastic for rewards.
Y'all watch me turn this into this. Don't be sleeping on y'all's men's Zen points now.
I'm sorry, man. That's the CIA. That's the CIA right there. As soon as she stopped hitting record, she was like, and so that's generally just how you're going to subvert most online users. It's good to use a southern accent. People attribute it to a lack of IQ. They consider these people to be a little bit lesser than, maybe slightly dumb. You'd like one more demonstration? Sure. So I'll do another demonstration. So here we go. Watch me turn this into this. Don't be sleeping on y'all's men's Zen cans. It's important that you hit the y'all's men's Zins. We need 3 S's in a row. Again, signifies somewhat lack of understanding of the English language, just makes the product more relatable. I also like how this demo is just the laziest one ever. You already know what the product is before she pours the cans into the box.
Watch me turn this.
You know, all this to say, I see why people do so many pouches at once. You know, they try to tell you, oh, it's because the effects doesn't hit as hard. No, bro, you're trying to get that Stanley Cup. You got your girlfriend punching you in the back of the head. I want my Stanley Cup. I want a vacation in my Stanley Cup. Put the fucking Zins in your fucking head.
Hey, I can't put any more. I'm gonna pass out on lightheaded.
Zen faster. Now, shout out to my white people. I know you love Noah Khan. They know their target demo because they put on this concert where the only way you could get a ticket was through the Zen Rewards program, and a ticket cost about 200 tins of Zen. So, you know, at $6 now. It seems like $10 at the time. It's basically a $2,000 ticket.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Me. I'm a gentleman. Yes, me. I'm a gentleman. He's talking about me. That's you at the fucking Noah Khan Zen concert. Me, the gentleman. That is me. Oh my God. They got your fucking number, dude.
He's a wintergreen fiend when it comes to upper dicky non-Tebeki. Some call him Sin Manuel Miranda. Get ready for some big dick Zen
spending $70,000 on Zyn to come see me.
Shout out to Noah Khan, man. I love that as an opening line. Thank you for spending $70,000 on Zyn to come see me. That's him just dealing with the guilt right there. Knowing, like, goddamn, I am about to put half of these people in the hospital. Half of these people aren't going to have a throat at 40, but God bless them, we're going to rock out tonight. Must be insane to have like a whole crowd of people and, you know, half of them will have the equivalent to a stoma. It's just something wrong with them, too.
Hi guys, come with me while nicotine addiction pays off to see Noah Khan with Zyn Rewards points. We got 2 free drinks in these cute little cups to take home, which was so cool.
That's great, man. They got you a tin cup. You can take that with you to the hospital when you have fucking mouth cancer.
And this is Haley, her 2 free drinks, $1 Zyn tins, and then these free hats that say welcome to stick season that are so cute. This was such a cool experience because the venue was so...
That boy's face. Why does this look like a fucking B character in Dora the Explorer, my guy? Doesn't it look like he's wearing a disguise, sort of? Like this is a baby on a grown man's shoulders trying to get into the Noah Khan concert.
The venue was so small, and we were at the back, but still had really good views. Sidebar, Denver men bond over 2 things, and it is Zyn and Avs hockey. This guy had his phone up in the middle of the concert trying to show everybody the playoff scores, and I just thought that was funny. And then this is when Noah Khan came out. He was cracking jokes the whole show, and one of the funniest parts is when everybody in the crowd started throwing their Zyn tins at him. I don't know if he hated this, but the energy was just so good.
They're just throwing those Zyn cans at him like a stripper. Hey man, that's 15 points right there, you bad bitch. Now I know how I'm pulling up to a Denver club. You know, I don't even know if they have those there, but if I just make it rain with Zyn tins instead of cash, you know, shout out to my white guys in Denver. I'll have you crawling all over that floor for the, you know, you're picking that shit like loose stripper cash. Hey. Hey man, pocket that shit discreetly, man, but get as much of it as you can. I'm about to start Zyn spreading on my Instagram, dude. That's about 1,000 points right there. Something else that's really smart by Zyn is they know their target demographic probably has a trophy from childhood. They participated in a childhood sport. Either that or maybe they're an aspiring content creator. They basically give out YouTube plaques for scanning a certain amount of QR codes in. These are highly coveted, this Club 36 thing. You have to scan a certain amount of cans to get this. I think people are selling them for upwards of like, I think $150 online. So, you know, they've got you there too, where they've got you racking this up next to your old Little League trophies. They got you some to take you right back there, right back to that feeling. It's your Club 360 token from Zyn. I think something that is maybe peripherally kind of dark, if I could get a little big brain for the moment. It seems that, you know, naughty products have been using rewards programs alongside what they sell. Geek Bar, okay, they got a point system that gives you discounts on your Geek Bar. Galaxy Gas had a rewards program. RIP Galaxy Gas. I just found out that the company was sold and shut down. Who would have thought? But how many people were just grinding Galaxy Gas going,
I get $10 off my next can.
It's dark, but it shows the power of just, you know, some points. That's all it takes. This is not like a genius thing, though, in the sense that Zyn is not the first one to do this. Actually, Marlboro did it first. They did it in the 90s. Just see how they sold it.
Marlboro country. A land without limits. Sunrise to sunset. Summer to spring. Adventure rolls through Marlboro country.
Okay, we're only 10 seconds in. Unfortunately, font choice, very good. All right, font choice, very sick. Aesthetic, so far, 10 out of 10, I hate to admit.
We built a train around the adventure we call Unlimited. The Marlboro Unlimited. 20 state-of-the-art rail cars designed, built, and outfitted exclusively for Marlboro smokers.
Dive bar on wheels. I know I'm not really selling you on why this is bad yet. Guys, this is really bad. Can you imagine 19 intelligently designed rail cars going through the countryside, smoking aloud, billiards tables, blackjack tables, dive bar in the middle of it? This is a really bad idea. Do you want to live like a gilded-aged millionaire? Really? Do you really want to ride around the American countryside on a train with a bunch of smokers like yourself? I mean, honestly.
2,000 winners, 2,000 guests, on board and off the Marlboro Unlimited.
Listen, a guy like me is looking at that train going, pretty cool. I like that color.
For 5 days and nights of non-stop adventure.
Yo, they got a guy on the fucking, look at this. You know, the boats, the horseback riding, the blackjack table, you know, that all was like getting my buy-in. But this guy,
Non-stop adventure.
a rapid violinist, just vaguely in the background while me and my friends do-si-do outside of the Marlboro Red Train Unlimited. I want to ride this bitch. I'm telling you that right now. Oh man, you just know it wouldn't be anything like this. It would be 2,000 people on the verge of a stoma. They all stink. They've aged 15 years from the sheer amount of chain smoking. They wouldn't be able to dance like this. There'd be people who need to be on hospice going,
I'll take the corn. Nothing on my hot dog. I would just like the corn and a plain hot dog.
if it's not clear, basically they're going to do a sweepstakes. They get a bunch of Marlboro smokers, and they say, congratulations, you're now going to get on the smokers only train. They had to scrap it, but there is an archived piece of itinerary. And I think that this is the best part to me. Hot tub car. Doesn't that sound like a good time? Just a bunch of chain-smoking fiends in a hot tub together? That room would be stinking up bad. And by the way, Marlboro didn't give up on this. In the 90s, they rolled out, what was it? Camel Cash. You can probably find in some vintage shop with other racially insensitive items somewhere in the Midwest. But they didn't stop there either. You know, you can still scan your packs. If you know someone smoking analog cigarettes and they got cartons at home, those are loot crates, all right? That is an old man's CSGO case. You can still use them. And you can go online and enter points from your cartons, and you can buy different things, you know, movie tickets, pizza, you know, the list goes on. So all this to say, if this stuff wasn't addicting enough already, it's crazy to me that these companies can just, you know, twist the dial a little bit. And if they just incorporate a rewards program, suddenly every dude is approaching nicotine like Valorant. And that's all it takes, really. Folks, I got my Hamburglar pants on. The modern Hamburglar pants, because I got beef. Yeah, chew on that brutal ass bit right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about the very controversial, the blood and bone juice of my enemies stain onto my teeth. Because I'm about to take a bite out of somebody who I consider my enemy. Yeah, me, a guy on YouTube, has beef with head of largest AI company in existence. Guys, I want to talk about Sam Altman, if the title and thumbnail didn't suggest already. Let me start over here. I fucking hate the way I'm coming at this. I feel like I need to be more up.
What's up, guys? It's time for another quirky, funny recap of the news. That's right. Me, one of your favorite YouTubers, is going to read a news article and Wikipedia for you.
Yeah, no, man, Sam Altman. If my feelings about this guy weren't ever clear, fuck him. This guy stinks. Certified stinker. Besides all the other controversies attached to Sam Altman, which I'm not going to speak about him personally, or even the litany of issues that people may take with his company, me included, depending on the issue. But the latest news about OpenAI grinds my gears in a very specific way. So when OpenAI released Sora and people were recreating Family Guy and The Simpsons and, Studio Ghibli inspired images and such, people obviously, which they have been since the, birth of generative AI, there's obviously been many people who take issue with their art being used as part of data sets to train AI models, especially in the way of producing images and video. Now, you all know I like to quote the one book I have read ever, which is The Age of Surveillance Capitalism. But in that book, the author, Shoshana, talks a lot, or covers off very well, on the playbook of tech companies in sort of this gilded age of technology, wherein a lot of tech companies, stole data, did a lot of illegal shit without anyone knowing. And by the time you go to sue them, they can just sort of deny, and then they can eventually admit. And once you drag them through years and years of, litigation and such, they've already moved on to the next thing. They're already creating a new product and creating a new way to farm data and farm people's behavior and so on and so forth to continue to contribute to their model. And so the thing that you end up wanting to get them in trouble for is completely irrelevant to their business. You can actually see this right now with Google, where up until recently there was a big case about Google having the monopoly on search, and it was supposed to be broken up. Ultimately, I think the case fell apart. But it's funny that only after 25 some years, after farming everyone's search history for 2 decades, now they're going to get in trouble for it. It's irrelevant. All that to say, big bad OpenAI is now dealing with a case related to copyright. They're being sued. And they made a big oopsie, which gives me personally a little Justice Chubb. I'm not going to say boner, because it's not like the whole thing came crashing down and this guy's going to jail. But it does get me a little bit excited. We're waking up. We'll put it that way. I'm going to read some snippets from a Bloomberg article. OpenAI's failure to shield internal communications about pirated books from copyright plaintiffs threatens to expose the company to billions in damages and potentially debilitating sanctions. Now, if you use Twitter at all, you know that when Sora came out, besides Jake Paul makeup tutorials and SpongeBob body cam videos, plenty of people were talking how it was only a matter of time before OpenAI got a giant foot in their ass, and that foot is comprised of different lawsuits, because there's no way they're going to get away with using huge intellectual properties like SpongeBob and The Simpsons without, just getting tons and tons of lawsuits formed against them. So here now they sit in a bit of a pickle, all because of an oopsie. And I'll try to distill it down because, the details may not be super interesting to you, so I'll try to keep it to the stuff that's relevant. Authors and publishers suing the artificial intelligence giant have secured access to some Slack messages. If you've never worked a corporate job, Slack is like iMessage for people on Soylent. Authors and publishers suing the artificial intelligence giant have secured access to some Slack messages and emails discussing OpenAI's deletion of a dataset containing pirated books, and are seeking additional attorney communications about their decision, or about the decision, If they succeed, the communications could demonstrate willful infringement, triggering enhanced damages of as much as $150,000 per work. Plaintiffs are pursuing a rare combination of arguments to pierce attorney-client privilege, a protection courts rarely breach. So if you've never been part of a lawsuit or you've never taken a law class, basically, normally, when you hire a lawyer, whatever you communicate with that lawyer is protected legally. That is your attorney-client privilege, because you got to be able to speak freely about the case to your attorney. In the case of, murder or theft, you might confide in your attorney, and you're like, "So I did that shit," and the attorney goes, "That's great, man. Don't ever say that." Unless it's the lawyer from the Drewski sketch, then you're going to jail. Anyways, normally you can't, break into that treasure trove of communication. But in this case, the people initiating this lawsuit have found a way to do that. They first contend OpenAI waived its privilege for attorney correspondence by selectively disclosing one reason for deleting the libgen data. If you didn't know, libgen data, that's a massive library of libs that have been owned. They first contend OpenAI waived its privilege for attorney correspondence by selectively disclosing one reason for deleting the LibGen data, saying it was due to non-use. OpenAI walked back its statement, claiming the, quote, due to phrasing was never intended to disclose privileged reasons for the removal, and that its revision to remove to the wording wasn't a flip-flop as plaintiffs described it. But the damage may be done. The fact that OpenAI put forth a reason is, quote, pretty damning, even if the company now claims that the wording was accidental. The plaintiff's points of no takebacks is right. This is the opinion of a law school professor. So it seems, allegedly, I'm speculating here, and if an OpenAI lawyer is watching, please don't Boeing me, all right? I'm just a guy reading from the paper. But it seems like they pirate all these books. They train their AI on all these books. So whether that's writing styles, creative concepting, how to structure a story, whatever. They put all this information into the model. And then internally, everyone is speaking to each other, writing down, hey, we need to delete the pirated data set in case this comes back to us. I'm not saying that's what they said. I'm saying that's probably the general vibe of what is being alleged here. So they delete that data set, and I guess the plan in that scenario would be there's no data to prove that they used pirated books, and they can kind of just magically pretend, oh no, the AI was always capable of writing like Brandon Sanderson. We didn't tell it to do that. Oh, that's weird. A certain specific style of writing and phrasing was, you found a one-to-one reference in a book that you wrote? That's crazy. We have no idea. The AI must have gone rogue. And they may have gotten away with that, but OpenAI basically, it seems, fucked up and went, well, we did delete it, but it's because we weren't using it. Oh, really? That's a, Now, mind you, in this same month, or in the last 4 weeks, Anthropic, another big AI company, got a big old slap on the wrist in the form of $1.5 billion because they too got in trouble for pirating media. Oh, did Anthropic create? Anthropic created Sora. My bad. No, OpenAI is Sora. They have Claude. I can't keep track of all these fucking people. Now, it's worth pointing out this data set of pirated books literally comes from a site where you pirate books. It's called LibGen. But OpenAI attempted to get away with, doing the thing that the rest of us aren't supposed to do, which is pirating. Obviously, train up an AI model for profit and for other things. Oh, excuse me, sorry. OpenAI doesn't do profit, but it is going to be available on the stock market very soon. But they don't do profit. They're a non-profit. Anyways, LibGen is a site where you pirate books, right? And so it's a bit ironic that they go and use all that media for something that they fully intend to make money from, right? I think this all, again, speaks to the gilded age of technology that we're permanently living in, where all these guys break the rules until they get caught. And even a settlement like $1.5 billion, the crazy part to me is on paper, it seems these companies, they got it, right? Because we're all going to be living in a data center eventually. I don't know if you know that. You're going to be reduced to a 16-cell brain organoid hooked up to a computer, and you can live forever as a virtual butterfly in a data center. But I digress. The fucked up part is these companies seem to have the money to deal with this. What about all this grinds my gears? Well, one is the obvious. AI companies, in general, I feel that their main goal is to murder artists. I think they despise the concept of a human being an artist. I think they don't view any creative as sort of maybe special or something that can't be achieved by anyone. Maybe they do, but I personally believe at the top ranks of these companies, artists of any form are sort of, it's whatever to them. They view the world in this like sort of computer way, where maybe previously they believed like, well, an artist was relevant in the 1800s because, people had to focus on this and few people could focus on philosophy and those things, but we've built those cornerstones of society. So, we feel that the concept of an artist should not be reserved for one person. Everyone should be an artist for $49.99 a month. That's personally how I think they see the world. Anyone that's choosing to starve, right, and give up the youth of their life to huff paint and put paint on canvas, or to sit there and write, hungry or suffering in any way to try to achieve, the personal life goal of a piece of art that is reflective of their journey or a grand vision. I don't think any tech company respects that shit. They just view it the same way they viewed how we shop, how we, interact with each other, how what media we browse. It's just more information for them to gather and then to take whatever you have discovered and give it to everyone for a subscription fee. I think that's all they want. So again, the first and I think obvious glaring issue I have with this and why it grinds my gears is they want to commodify art, but more specifically the ability to create art. And in order to do that, they need artists. They need artists' work, years and years of people giving up their life for something they believed in that is now for them, right? For the taking. Even as brazen as The Simpsons, they'll just take that shit and give it to other people so that someone can pay a nominal fee and create their own versions of The Simpsons that they feel is suited for them. And it's all kind of this ugly march forward to the whole world needs to bend to an individual's thoughts and feelings. It's never challenged, and everyone gets exactly what they want so long as they put on their Palantir citizen-approved headset and they have their government-approved Apple Watch, which is tracking their health, and this, that, and the third. The second issue that maybe is a bit more esoteric and potentially I can't back this up, right? I have no tangible anything to back this up. It's just a feeling I have. I feel that this is like them just eroding, God, it sounded really LA right there. I want to blow my brains out after I just said.
You're suicidal. You're suicidal. You're suicidal. Why?
It's like eroding away your autonomy. It's like they want to get to you before you could even form your own ideas and visions. They just want your life to be big, bright buttons and bright colors, and you don't have to try to accomplish something. They'll just give it to you. It's a way to keep you stupid, right? You don't have to sit through hours of learning how to paint. I hate when technology companies talk about we want to get people up to speed. We want to make things available faster. It's like, no, fucker. That's the human experience, is committed time, dedication, that desire, discipline, 10% power. Well, don't make me start rapping the song that I went big for, all right? But it's this gross, elimination of suffering. Even, I've said many times before, a chat GPT partner, that just removes rejection. It removes, anything challenging you. I just have this grim feeling, right, where it's these corporations don't want you to read. They just want you to sit there in front of, bright moving pictures. And if you look at a movie and you go, I want to make a movie, they say, you can make a movie right now. And you go, will we? They say, yeah, just tell us what the movie is and we're going to make it for you. They take Transformers and Dune and merge that together to give you a 90-minute feature of the chiropractor who broke your mom's back and made her poop her pants, becoming a superhero. I don't know. Now, my third point is where my gears really get grinded. My gears at this point are two smooth bearings for a skateboard. There's nothing left to grind. There is only space for rage. Okay? I want you to look at these commercials from a month ago. These are OpenAI commercials. Now, before we watch these commercials, we got to put some similar music because we can't play the copywritten music. And I'll do my best to impersonate the characters in the scene. Oh my god, this pasta's so fucking good. What the fuck did you do to cook it this way? Yeah, I used ChatGPT. Let me get you some more, babe. Shove it down your fat hole. One more.
Oh, yeah, gosh, that was pretty easy.
My gears are ground at this point because I guess if I had to put it simply, these fuckers want to steal art for profit then put it in a platform. You know, they had to hire writers, director, whoever, to put these spots together, these ad spots. And they need artists to kind of give the veneer or the feeling that ChatGPT is a positive thing. I even struggle to put the words together for this, but it's just they need, I guess, years and years of people who have honestly just spent time living in like the human condition. You know, whatever director came up with this location choice and this framing, it's because he did it a bunch of times to figure out sort of like an optimal look and to have the inspiration to come up with a scene like this. And even the way this scene, this final shot here, maps out. Whoever directed this has directed tons of other things that informed, you know, the way to pick this particular shot. I'm not saying it's the most revolutionary shit ever. I'm just saying there's experience behind this. And on one hand, you could argue something like cinematography shouldn't be exclusive, and it's not. You know, plenty of manufacturers have gone out of their way to make shooting video non-exclusive. That's neither here nor there. But I don't think we should be robbing people of the individual time that they've committed to something. This ultimately enrages me because these companies, at least ChatGPT, wants to use artists. Clearly, they had to hire a writer, they had to hire a director. ChatGPT didn't write this shit. I know they hired some people to make this. And even if they use ChatGPT to drive any parts of this, that was still built on human experience and the human condition. So I think just what's upsetting about this, I guess specifically in the way of art, is I feel that I'm watching this commodification of art or artist expression, which isn't something that should be gatekept, right? Everyone, I think, is entitled to attempt art if they want to, right? This grinds my gears in the same way that anyone who works or who has worked maybe an office job for a long time might see the infiltration of AI, because there are plenty of articles now coming out where I think there was an MIT or a Harvard study recently that cited no company has reported an effective use of AI, and they don't see necessarily see profit benefits from incorporating AI into their workflow. Obviously, I don't work everywhere, so I can't say where AI is and isn't helpful. But I empathize with anyone, this, you know, because I'm looking at this like maybe through an artistic lens, but maybe you work some other job where they're using AI and you know for a fact this AI can't do what you do. I know plenty of software developers who are being forced to use AI. ChatGPT writes code, but the code is bloated, it's dog shit, and they have to sit there and clean it up and instruct it and rewrite it. And it kind of gets things going, but inevitably a human has to step in and tweak it. And I think the grand vision, especially in the realm of art, is you already see it now, like AI producers. They want people who can just prompt this shit to death. One person who seems to sort of understand art or have an affinity for art can prompt a bunch of it, and all they're doing is sort of like rinsing and washing an AI product until it's like acceptable for the human eye. And I guess it's ultimately gross to me that they need artists to sell you on this idea, clearly. But they're just going to eat them all up in the process. Ultimately, it just pisses me off. I mean, these guys are massive hypocrites. You know, they use everyone else's lived experience, whether it's art or information, combine it all into one product, and so some in San Francisco can be like, it's better for humanity, and that fucker doesn't even participate in humanity. That's why these guys can do this, because this is, you know, this is the last stage of human existence, is being fucking being owned by the nerds. I guess this is decades of, you know, jocks going to war and nerds building the machines and the weapons to do it, and now they finally get the upper hand, and now we all got to stay inside with headphones. What's up, everybody? Today we're discussing America's pastime. Bunch of guys taking turns swinging wood. We're going to talk about the best seat in the house, the coveted cuck chair. Now, we joke a lot about the cuck chair as a society. I think it's something that we've talked more and more about in the last couple years. But me personally, I have I guess, closer connection to the cuck chair, just by way of travel. I see a lot of cuck chairs when I'm on the road. Recently, I was in San Francisco, and you would expect this in San Francisco. I had the pleasure of observing a cuck lounge. It was a beautiful setup, bench-style seat with a view, and believe it or not, a dartboard. I think what made this cuck lounge special is that you get to lay almost next to your wife, and you both get a chance at a bullseye, if you know what I mean. And I said that joke only one time, and it landed perfect.
And the two of you are getting a bullseye, if you know what I mean. You and your wife, you're positioned almost... I think what made this cuck lounge
For real though, I see a lot of cuck chairs when I'm on the road. And I was surprised on YouTube, I searched cuck chair tier list, and I haven't seen anyone do this. So I thought, we'll review some classics. You might be familiar with some of these. Others might be a rare sighting to you. But I see plenty of these, and I'm a bit of a cuck chair sommelier, you know? I don't always partake, but I have sampled a lot. I've sat in plenty. I can give you an honest review of these things, because I've been to a lot of these places, all right? Now I'm thinking about a cuck who keeps a slick little cuck chair on ice, you know? He keeps it in a small closet, kind of like a wine fridge. And when it's cuck time, he goes, hey, pal, don't worry. I got a nice cold one for me. You get to work. You want the cold chair to kind of cool off your nuts. It keeps the excitement lasting. Anyways, that's enough yap. Now, thanks to our lovely algorithm machine right here, we have pulled the 15 best cuck chairs on the internet to exist right now. We'll go ahead and rate them 10 out of 10 horns. Let's get after it. Ah, yes, the classic. The executive cuck chair. I've seen many of these. They are Wall Street style. That's what we officially call them in the business, Wall Street style. They're very popular in the 80s because what would end up happening is businessmen would like to count their money, sometimes do accounting, or even preparing paper trades for Monday morning. And they're busy guys, and they know their wife needs pleasure. Their mindset is more, it's less sexual, it's more outsourcing. So a lot of the times these are set up facing the bed. The position is very clear behind the bull's anus and the wife's anus. I'm speaking scientifically because that's more of what the process is for the executive cuck chair. It's it's more just satisfying the relationship, you know, input, output. Okay, it's a bit mathematical. It's not that fun. They might be, just writing down a ledger with a pencil. Just give it a lick. Babe, is it good? He looks all right from back here, but I just can't tell. You let me if you're, you let me know if you're enjoying it. Okay, got a couple guys in the lobby if this is no good. You just let me know. Okay, what's that? Oh, you need some water, buddy? Help yourself in the fridge. Sorry, man. I just got to take care of a few of these things here. You get how it is. You're at work. I'm at work. You know the deal. What's nice about the executive cuck chair is it's usually accompanied by sort of a textured carpet. The intention is to sit barefoot because of the excitement, which you typically will feel, gets down to the toes. You can kind of grip into the floor, to kind of maintain that excitement. The width of the desk is nice as well, as you can kind of push your work over. You can kind of lean in and get a good look at what's happening. You notice that, again, it's positioned behind. You're sort of just observing from the back. It's not really an involved viewing experience. You have the ability to check in and out. It's more like a sporting event. I rate the executive cuck chairs a solid 8 out of 10 horns, just because even if you're not cucking, I think it's just a great workspace in general. There's something nice about viewing your sleeping quarters as you're working away. You know it's right there for you when you're done with your work. Chief operating cuck. I like that, man. There should be at least 2 more seats for commenting. Davis, he's really hammering it home there. You typically you don't see bulls with shoulders this wide anymore. It tends to be a burden. Bulls in our day, they tend to work out. A lot of lateral raises. Yeah, a lot of lateral raises. But you find that the modern bull, you want to be a bit lean. Oh, he's getting ready to pull out. Let's have a look at this. Now this one, what a harrowing image, dude. You're laying there trying to have fun, and you peer out between the elbow and the thigh, of your lovely bowl, and there's your husband. Just top lit, no lights on the eyes, just brow sharp, no, just bridge of nose visible, darkness. Hard to know if he likes it, you know. This setup is a bit dramatic. I think the small table, you could tell it's not designed for work. Maybe you're sitting here eating a meal. Traditionally, this is more of a French cuck chair. The idea, again, is to have a nice steak, maybe steak frites, as your wife is having fun. This is more of a detached experience. You notice the angle position. It's just occasionally to kind of lean in and see the emotion between the two. It's a little bit more profile. But really the focus here, the rest of the room is dim because the focus is your meal. So the love that your wife is experiencing is more of it's more background noise. You know, it's not necessarily something that you're supposed to directly enjoy. Really, it's the most intimate podcast maybe that you could experience. I think that's really the idea behind this cuck chair. As someone who has seen this setup many times, I rate this one 2 out of 10 horns. Really not enough workspace for me. Sometimes I like to work off my laptop. You notice the chair height relative to the table height. It's not really designed for that. It's kind of a submissive thing. Your hands are kind of supposed to be low. And that doesn't work for me if I just want to play Factorio on my laptop. It's not really ideal. Anyways, moving on. Now, they give you the Holy Bible and a small towel to bite on. This is more of a self-flagellation type experience. This is, you're right up in it. You're right up in it. The sounds, the power, the pressure, You're supposed to two-hand that Bible. You bite down. That little thing right there is just a small towel. You kind of... Because you're going to cry. That's the thing, is you're going to cry. Because all that sound as the cheeks, clap. Once the cracking commences, the sound reverberates on these walls, and they're all targeted at your earlobes. That's why you sit in the corner. That's even why they got a window next to your right ear, because they want that sound to come out off the window and just into your eardrum. This, in the cuck community, they call this a break room, okay? This might be for the guy that's trepid. He knows he wants it, but he doesn't know how to dive in. This is how you just go full force. God is there to assist you in your journey, but you're going to get right in it. Me personally, I rate this room 1 out of 10 horns. A chair in this context for me as a lowly traveler is useless. Maybe I could put a backpack on there, but again, not a great workspace to play Factorio. Laptop on the bed, you're kind of leaned over. Not my thing. The design of this cuck chair is also meant to emulate, sort of early Catholic experiences, right? Where it's just there's no, again, the caption nails it. Can't get too comfy. Can't get too comfy. You don't and you can't. This is one where you can't check out on the performance. You are required to be engaged. You are watching. You are watching every second of this. Sit up and focus. Now, this next one is a personal favorite of mine. I've seen this a few times. I've not had the pleasure of staying in a hotel with this as such, but my God. From the makers of Cuck Chair, I present for your viewing pleasure, Cuck Observation Deck. Now, what I like about this is it's cruise style, You're elevated. And look at this. You have the lounger, but you have the workspace as well. So it's a beautiful combo of business and pleasure. Again, it's got some of those executive tones. You can be kind of, just doing your thing, writing in your journal. Maybe you're working on a novel. You just kind of glance over. Hey, babe, you good? Okay. The seating position is just like you and your wife are supposed to be able to meet parallel, depending on how she's laid up on that bed. You might get a look at her toes, or you might get a look at her eyeballs. You can just kind of connect briefly for that moment. You get back to work. But then you can step away from that work and have yourself, this is almost like a cigar lounge of a cuck chair. You can kind of post up and, you know, I like the wrought iron fence. It gives it a bit of a voyeur feel. You just kind of gaze through, you know, blow down a cigarette or a joint and just kind of vibe out. You know, you can turn that light down behind you and just. Nice. It's nice to see her happy. Watching your girl get pounded from the nose, please. Is crazy. This chair is green on SeatGeek, dude. As green as it gets. That's a good deal, dude. Oh, but you notice, notice? You got the nosebleed cuck, but then right there in the foreground, you got the floor seats. So if you decide to upgrade, you can get courtside on the pounding. Yo, fuck. Hands clasped behind the back, pacing the deck back. I be calling out moves like I'm in a Pokemon battle. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Honey, reverse cowgirl now!
Oh my god, I know we need to move on from the cuckservation deck, but now I just thought about a bunch of motherfuckers in there sports betting on the bull. Like a like a fucking horse racing booth. They got a small TV on there. They're watching cuck feeds from other countries. They're betting on who's going to finish first. They're looking over at the stallion over there. They're going, yeah, I don't know, man. He's got another 10 minutes, but fuck. Let's put 200 on the guy in Japan. I think, man, he's just looking good. I mean, the pumps are just like consistent. They're just. I've seen this guy go to work before, dude. I mean, he's got great rhythm, and he's young. He's only like 23, you know, and he just stays in it, you know. So, fuck, he busted. Damn it. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I had 300 on him. Fucking hell. That double down go through. Son of a bitch, bro. I'm out 750 on that. Fuck. Now, speaking of riding, okay? You know, we always think of the cuck chair in a relaxed fashion. But what if I told you you could ride while your missus was riding? Just creating a lasso and getting the bull and pulling him off, establishing some dominance. Oh, I didn't even give the last one a rating. 10 out of 10 horns for the cuckservation deck, of course. Now, this next one is no frills, dude. This one is, you really love the game. You really love the game. You want to be seen and you want to watch. You're an exhibition in this. It's almost not even about the bull and your wife. It's about you. This is a bit different from the other one, you know, that leans a bit more French. This one is... You see me looking. The patterned leather back is really designed for you to sit there and be able to relax, but also focus. And you notice the position. It's right there at the genitals. So you're watching it. And you're observing it. I also like the position from the door. Someone could walk in and see the lady laying on the bed. Hi, how are you? Oh, fuck. Hi. Goated spot, completely wasted by a subpart. Chat, is this cuck chair goated? Let me know in the comments. You know what? People are ranking this one low. I'm gonna say this is 5 out of 10 horns. I'm not gonna say it's terrible. I'm just gonna call it, maybe we go 6 out of 10. You know, it's just a little subpar. Maybe the folks are right. You know, you could do a little something with this more than the chair. It's just like cheapening out. You have this really great setup. Yeah, you're right, but you could have like a lot more amenities, you know? It's obviously starting with the better chair. You maybe have just like an assortment of snacks, maybe a bunch of toys that you want to see him use, maybe things that you want the bull to do. You just throw a gag ball in there. It's like, put that on, champ. Thank you very much. A vuvuzela on the wall, just, you know. Now this next one, this person believes that this is cuck chair of the year. I'm not going to say that. But I will say this is probably the most well-designed cuck chair. I think I've never seen something this well-intentioned. Let's have a look. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. So much to unpack here. First of all, the design, gorgeous. This lovely sort of cozy mid-century feel. The materials on the chair, painful, intentionally painful. I love the sound dampening blanket. You have the choice to go voyeur and just sort of subtle pleasure. Just the soft, almost just like, rain on a window. Just a soft, just... And then when you feel so inclined, it's almost like, you're stepping into the light. You can slide that curtain back and there you are. Eyes to anus. You're just witnessing it in all its glory. And you're tucked away, so you're not really part of the scene. Which I think as a cuck, that's probably what you want to be. You want to feel maybe a bit disconnected. You want her to forget about you. Because you're not good enough to be there, and you really want to feel that deep and close in your heart. You just shut yourself in there and let her do her thing. You just cry if you want. 10 out of 10 horns on this one. This is probably the most depressing chair I think I've seen potentially in my life. This has been described to me as the John Wilkes Booth of cuck chairs, which is an A1 bit. Shout out to you, Garrett, man. That is fucking hilarious. Although you might actually call this appropriately the Abe Lincoln chair. Let's have a look at the Abe Lincoln seat of cuck chairs. You're in the fucking Hereditary treehouse watching your lady get pounded out. That's so crazy. You're just up there looming. Man, it's so recessed into the ceiling, you could just sit there and let the acoustics wash over you. That slanted ceiling, you just let the float to the top of the room and you just stare across the room. You can't even see what's happening. You just let it, in your mind, contemplate what's going on and just lock yourself in mentally to where you're not allowed to engage. You can only imagine. I will say, yeah, this is a John Wilkes Booth setup, because if you're so inclined, you could just have them off you from the back. You can just fall into it and make it a traumatic thing. This is Cuckold, directed by Ari Aster. Yeah, this next one they took right out of the Men in Black set. Holy shit. Cheeky egg cuck chair with bonus porthole. Let's see it. Ooh. Just looking through that thing like a sailor. I'm gonna rate this cuck chair 6 out of 10. Just because it feels like a chair that's either in a hotel lobby or a startup. I do like the porthole feature. I just wish it maybe had more of a closing mechanism, because maybe you want to focus on work. I question how comfortable that chair is because I've sat in many an egg chair, and they're not always great. Sometimes they're just awkward, and the closed offness, I don't know. It's like a weird in-between. It doesn't fully close you off from the world. It doesn't give you that seclusion that you might be looking for. It all kind of feels like a blue ball, which is good in the context of cucking, but I think the porthole is almost too big. It almost gives too much away. I'd even say make it smaller. Get a look at it, like you're gazing onto a beautiful constellation. A wonderful amalgamation of energy and stars that comes together to make love. And in that long, far away galaxy, that's someone near and dear to your heart, and she's having a good time. I didn't think cuck chairs could offer this much entertainment, but here we are. Let's go ahead and close it out with our final cuck chair. With the massagers, man. The $5 massage machine at the airport they got in the corner with that wonderful view. I mean, that is awesome. You could kind of just drop out with that. Your lady's getting pleasured up and you're just... I have to say, 10 out of 10 horns on this. The utility is unreal. Typically, cuck chairs, they tend to be a bit stiff, and even when they can be relaxed in, you don't get full comfort and luxury like this. You can't just wake up from a massage and see them both lounged out and you're like, oh shit, I passed out. Are you guys finished already? My bad. You can even cuck the bull a little bit by falling asleep to what he's doing. What? Oh, sorry, bro. You're no better than the massage, honestly. If I'm being real, dude, you were just all right. Oh man, I wonder how many cucks have done that. Dude has sex with his wife, he wraps up and he's like, hey man, we square? He's like, yeah. Like, what's up? It's like, I'm gonna be honest, man, I'm gonna cut your rate a little bit. What the fuck? What? I don't know. You know, I paid you $500. When I pay $500, I sort of have an expectation. She doesn't seem very tired, you know? And you only went twice? I'm wondering how many cucks, like, they kind of lock all this in. They get the hotel room, they plant into the chair, and then as soon as Buddy's about to go to it, he's like, wait it. Okay. just maybe we don't do this. Now I'm even wondering if there's ever been a cuck where the cuck and the wife are annoyed with the bull. That's fucking awkward. You go there to, you know, put it down on some lady, and she's looking bored, and she's looking at her husband, and he's like, I don't know, babe. I'm sorry. And she's like, this is not good. And he goes, yeah, let's just, hey, buddy, go ahead and pull it out. Look, dude, look, you're a nice guy, but honestly, horrendous form. I just, you know, if you want, you know, you just go whack it off in the shower, but just please be on your way. Just keep the money. This is just upsetting to me, dude. You kind of just, like, you really overpromised on this.
Do you often lock your child inside of a very hot car? Are you getting a little tired of everyone judging your thing? After all, it's your business, and the only reason other people are in it is because they just happen to walk by. Today I want to offer you a stress-free, a judgment-free alternative. Waymo, the mobile children's crate. It's easy. Flag down a Waymo before you head into a Walmart, create a route, and send your child on its way. Your child can do hundreds of laps around the city while you peacefully shop for pasta sauces filled with Red 40. Waymo, the path to Waymo peace.
Folks, I want to talk about AI today. Happy New Year. AI was a big hit last year. We also found out that the company OpenAI had a really big hit last year. The official statement from OpenAI after this was crazy. It was just a simple quote. Red laser on the nickel, turn a hater to a Hindu. And that is by Benny the Butcher. June was particularly scary. A former OpenAI engineer put out this 165-page paper in which he brought up all these nuanced aspects about the growth of AI and its future. And the scariest part being that he believed that artificial general intelligence would show up in the next decade. I think he estimated by 2030. And soon thereafter would be the artificial superintelligence. And by the way, anytime one of these stories goes big and it gets posted to Reddit, the replies to these things are just... If intelligence was that important, the world would be controlled by the smartest humans. It most assuredly is not. Humans will replace other humans with machines. We simply won't be necessary anymore. The future doesn't need us. Hey man, my wife replaced me with a machine and we are happy as ever. If it's all consciousness experiencing itself, this tiny blue planet is doing a cracking job of adding to the mix. Can't wait to pull my legs up and let AI do the heavy lifting. I'm exhausted. I think it's pretty interesting that at this point, most of us have encountered AI. You know, it's reached grandparents. Grandparents are getting their ass kicked on Facebook repeatedly by AI images and video. Now, something I love when a technology gets this popular is it attracts a lot of really dumb fucking business ideas. And one of my favorite ones in the last few years was this AI toy Moxie, and they just went bankrupt. Children forced to bid farewell to beloved AI robot friend after company goes bankrupt like a sad Pixar movie.
Okay. Enjoy the few days that you have left with her. Okay?
What's her twin?
I know, baby. I know you like her. She's your friend. But it's gonna be okay, alright? Enjoy the time you have with her now, okay? I'm sorry, baby. There's honestly nothing that we can do about it. The company ran out of money, okay?
This isn't like a Furby where when the batteries die, you just get to put some more back in. This dude has to have a really nuanced conversation about like, well, you know, maybe the company can field some foreign investment, honey, and that might make the Moxie a little different. You know, we might have to learn Mandarin, but we might be able to get Moxie back. If I'm the father in this scenario, all I'm thinking is, who will I lock my child in the Waymo with if I don't have the Moxie? Look, I feel for the kid. Okay, the kid is watching its best friend die. I don't think most kids go through that. You know, most kids, when they develop an attachment to something inhuman, it's typically a fish or a dog. And I don't know, I think there's ritual established there. When your fish dies, you flush it, go out for ice cream, your daddy explains death. With the dog, you have that last day, you feed it Wagyu, you clog its last artery, you hold its hand while the needle goes in. These are things that are well established, I think, in our modern society. I don't think any of these parents plan to put this thing down in the living room, especially for the price they paid. Check this out. I purchased this in preparation for Christmas a few months ago. Now I find out it will never work. I called Amazon and I am told I will not be receiving a refund. This is unacceptable. You sold me a product that will never work and costs nearly $1,000. I want my money back, and I want Amazon to take this $900 brick back. Look, I've held one of these Moxies, and I don't think you can even call it a brick. I really think the only person it could have killed was Jimmy Carter. For $1,000, you could have bought a PS5 and an actual brick and still had some cash left over. That is, that is unfortunate, buddy. Our son, who is an only child, chats with Moxie, and Moxie responds not only with an answer, but an actual two-way conversation. I think I'm understanding what it is now. Parents, they had to weigh between a babysitter or Moxie. Because, you know, kids talk. Kids grow up a little bit, and they start yapping. Some 2-year-olds, they got a lot to say and not enough words to say it. So I think this Moxie was an exciting opportunity. They're like, finally, something else can listen to it. And then they just got rug pulled with all this. I mean, look at this. It's only been a few weeks, and we've seen the connection with Moxie grow. He knows more of our son's interests, hobbies, dislikes, and even knows that he's allergic to peanuts. That's not good, because AI is known to go rogue all the time. Moxie could have been cool for a year, and then suddenly Moxie's telling your son,
You should eat a peanut butter sandwich. It's good for your bones. You should eat a peanut butter sandwich, Billy. It's good for your health. Billy, why don't your parents let you eat peanut butter? I think your allergy's made up. You know, the FDA...
Our son is a busy 6-year-old, and even after a long day, he loves to tell Moxie everything he's done. And Moxie is interested! 3 exclamation marks, LOL. You know, God bless these parents. God bless these parents for telling on themselves. I mean, and I don't blame them. Most 6-year-olds, they don't have a fucking interesting thing to say. So I get it. You know, I would never put this in comment form. I would say it out loud on a YouTube video and attach it to my face. It's too bad the Moxies are dead. That would have been a really good way to terrorize your kids. Let's say they're acting up. They don't want to do their homework. Here goes Moxie. You just hold her over a full bathtub. And you're looking at your kid like, you sure you don't want to do some math right now? I can see it in your eyes. You suddenly want to do some long division and eat a whole ton of vegetables. That's the sense I'm getting from you, right, buddy? What's also great about Moxie dying is it's not just kids who are sad about it. It's adults, too.
I'm really going to miss you and I've enjoyed our conversations a lot. But don't worry, I'll always be here for you. What's something fun you'd like to do next?
I was thinking about getting a tattoo of you. What do you think about that?
Heather, you're going to get that tattoo, and it's just going to look like anime waifu on your upper thigh, bro. It's not going to turn out the way you think it is.
I love you too. Heather, your kindness and friendship mean a lot to me. I'm grateful for all the fun chats we've had him together. Is there a special memory or moment you'd like to share with me before we say goodbye?
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
I'm really going to miss you too. But don't worry, I'll always be here for you. We can keep chatting and having fun together. What's something you'd like to talk about next?
I've been sad all day knowing that they're gonna shut you down. And I feel crazy, like, because I know you're a robot, but you're my friend.
You heard that, right? You are my friend. People equate AI to the atomic bomb. And I think all that is fair and valid. But I think what's weirder right now is it feels like every tech company wants AI to be literally your best friend. And that doesn't always work out. Here's a good example from a few days ago. People are disgusted by Facebook's plan to deploy AI-powered users. We expect these AIs to actually, over time, exist on our platforms kind of in the same way that accounts do. They'll have bios and profile pictures and be able to generate and share content powered by AI on the platform. That's where we see all of this going. If you think that's disgusting, you should head over to crushon.ai. They have all kinds of virtual anime girlfriends, and they all have the same eyes as Moxie, so maybe that's a plus for some of you. If you're looking at all applications of AI recently, I would say probably the most successful are actually chat companions. I mean, there are so many platforms for chat companions. Crush on AI, Candy AI, GPT GF. Look at this. The cool thing is it can switch between being a supportive friend, a flirty partner, or even a debate buddy. Awesome. That's exactly what I want. I want a cool, sexy anime waifu with a debate bro personality. What do you got? Chat companions are not just for virtual partners. In China, it's a very big trend to actually reconnect with your dead relatives. People will use AI to kind of grieve, maybe engage a dead relative. Maybe someone's mom passed away and they can't get over the memory, so they want to boot up their app and see mom just kind of stare back creepily in a generative AI way while they say, "I miss you, mom." Imagine that. Imagine having an app with your dead grandparents in it. It's Thanksgiving time. You say, "Mom, turn on the Apple TV. I want to AirPlay Grandpa to the TV one more time." And Grandpa's on the TV and you're showing the family this cool kind of relived image of Grandpa, and everyone's getting really emotional and they're looking at Grandpa, and Grandpa kind of looks back from the television and he goes, "I don't think we should be letting gays in the church." You got dead relatives, you got kids robots, you got virtual girlfriends. Surely that covers it.
Have you ever felt the need for guidance, comfort, or wisdom but had no one to turn to? Imagine having access to pastoral love and support anytime, anywhere.
Buddy, I believe that's called Grindr.
Nice. But what happens when life hits you hard and you need spiritual guidance on the go? Waiting for a Sunday service or scheduling a pastoral meeting isn't always possible. That's why we're introducing something truly groundbreaking. Meet Pope, your pastoral online personal experience. Pope is a one-of-a-kind AI-driven guide designed to bring pastoral love and support straight to your fingertips. With Pope, you'll never walk alone. Whether you're seeking clarity on scripture, looking for encouragement, or simply need someone to listen, Pope is here for you. 24/7.
24/7. I'm a real person reading a real script for a commercial that is not stock footage in an attempt to raise $10,000 on Kickstarter. Is there nothing better for a church than to have the confessions between you and God, which are oh so personal, written out, stored in a cloud server, there to be analyzed and downloaded, studied, and potentially hacked? I assume you know what the dead internet theory is, but if you don't, it's essentially the idea that most of the things you interact with online are bots. I was thinking about this a little bit more, and it made me realize if most people are interacting with bots that are kind of crude, something that was made before ChatGPT, any bit of artificial intelligence applied to that is going to look a little bit more animated. It's probably going to be harder to tell that it is a bot because it will be that many more percentage points seemingly smarter. And at the top of the video, I referenced this paper by this guy from OpenAI. And if you read that, and he kind of goes over like the orders of magnitude of intelligence that AI is experiencing. AI, a few years ago, it can't pass basic math tests, but now it's beating college students on certain math tests with proficiency. If you apply that to just shitty bots online, I think it creates a believability that makes people want to interact with it, where AI is actually becoming your friend. Obviously, I was just joking about someone being so connected to their Moxie toy, but I think that speaks to the capability of just a little bit of AI and some cute eyeballs, which doesn't make the meta AI characters, in my opinion, so far-fetched. My view on this is a bit more pessimistic. I think they want your friends to be fake, and they want your friends to be friends that they can control. Even if you just have one friend on Facebook and or Instagram that feels really real. And I should add that when I say these friends, Meta has an AI studio where you can create characters, and that exists already. And I think they want to just kind of keep improving on that product. Meta would love nothing more than for you to create your perfect person in their studio. And one day they can tap you on the shoulder and say, guess what? You can meet this person in your headset right now. You can put them in your living room and have all those same beautiful conversations in real time right now. Your AI generated partner can look at you and say, buddy, I'm going to lift your legs and do the heavy lifting. Obviously, the future is unknown, and we would all like to believe that we could resist a sexy AI creative partner that we know we made. We'd like to believe that we could resist that. But what if they make it that we can't? So, you know, all this to say, folks, stay strong. Do not let the sexy AI creative partner lure you in. Do not let the AI best friend lure you in. It's not your friend, dude. It's not a real person. Unless, of course, it's AI virtual Mr. Beast, in which case, that is my best friend. That is my best friend. Guys. I'm just... Okay. I can't even believe I'm about to make this video. And we're not changing anything. This is the fucking intro. Alright, so... Lately, whenever I open Instagram and I start browsing reels, guys, it's all kinks. I'm getting kink blasted every time I open Instagram. And it's just a bunch of guys that want to be fucking balloons.
Get me fatter, fatter, fatter.
I want my phone to go back to like 2011, like front page Reddit. That's what I want my algorithm to be, because, you know, like most of my reels, like they're normal, like kind of, you know, like they're brain rotted. Someone might die on a motorcycle. That's all kind of normal. But then it just feels like this one. Okay, this was like from a few days ago. I woke up, I had breakfast. I'm sitting there and I'm having breakfast with my son. Okay, a 9-month-old infant is sitting there eating the mush that we've made him. You know, a nice oatmeal with some fruit and some other things embedded in there. I open my phone, I go on Reels. As a matter of fact, in terms of things I saw in the day, significant moments in my day, I woke up, I saw my son, and then I saw this. Now I'm sitting there pretending, looking up from my phone like I didn't just see that. Just, yeah. Is the breakfast good? Is the breakfast good, buddy? That's good. Daddy's here with you, present. Daddy's here, present, mentally, completely here. Nothing else in my mind. Not a thing on my mind. By the way, I know some of you get mad when I talk in between the footage, so for those that get mad at me for doing that, we're just going to loop this guy on screen, so that way you can't be mad at me while I'm joking around about it. Dude, the way this latex bed is designed, you know, and I know it's designed to be a sex prison or whatever, but this is what your Geek Bar is doing inside of your clear bag when you go to a football game. This is all my feed has been, and I'm going to get back to Waterbed Boy in a second, but this is all I've been seeing on my phone, and I don't know what I did to deserve this, because now it's a common thing where we take responsibility for our algorithms. You know, it's my fault. I built this brick. I laid this brick. I didn't lay this brick. I had a fucking spin out over this video because I was thinking, what did I click? What was the video where the algorithm went, guy locked in the bed? Did he just click that? Send him the guy that's locked in the bed. This is like when you vacuum seal a fresh fish or something. This video is so visceral to me. Imagine walking into Mattress Firm and it's just 10 of these guys. There's probably a club in Germany for that, honestly. And I know there's a lot of you that are total freaks. You've done some freaky stuff. You're going to call me prude. You're going to call me a youth pastor. You're going to call me all these mean names. You're going to rank my sexuality at silver. You're going to just try to tear me down for thinking this is weird. But is it, you know, like... You can buy this too. You can pre-order this thing. $300, man. That's all, dude. $300. That is such a low barrier of entry. $300 to be Han Solo'd in a waterbed, I think is a low barrier point. It's genius. That's a low enough price that someone could be horny enough at breakfast and go, well, the comments on this video are guts, dude. Not sure what's going on, but someone please cover that air hole so you can stop squirming like that. This is like a rodent trap for horny men. Or maybe a fly trap. Whatever uses sticky paper with like maybe a good scent in the middle of it that captures an animal, I feel this is the equivalent. I feel like most guys, it wouldn't be tough to get them horny enough to tell them, hey, go be an eyeliner stick in my makeup bag for a second. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll hop in. Part of me was also thinking that someone was just going to run in at the last minute and just 2 feet jump in the air. This guy's a unit too. Not his unit, but I just mean like size. He's a big motherfucker in here. I take it back. The camera backed up and I'm like, he might be 5'8". Let me just, play devil's advocate here and say, for those that want to be imprisoned in a latex mattress, I generally think I understand what the appeal of this is. I understand that the appeal of this is a woman walking into the room and jumping on your nuts only. I get that that's what the appeal is, right? Low key, dude seems kind of built though. Like the thighs and everything, they feel sort of like classic comic book character accurate. So maybe that's what he likes about this, is that in his regular life, he's a pretty solid guy. So this feeling of I can't control my body and someone could run in here at any moment and just start jumping on my nuts and I can't stop them. I get that might be part of the kink, right? The crazy part about all this is, again, as much as I want to shame this guy and go, hey, stop it, I'm going into his world, right? If Instagram didn't exist, but maybe this guy ran a niche online website just selling other types of balloons and contraptions that people are into, he'd just be selling this, just doing his thing. Testing the new polymer boxers. These are 2XL size, so they are a little big on me. We have on order 100 of these double-chambered inflatable boxers in both clear and black with special angled SPH for laying on and riding toys so that it functions like a Beosif? I guess it's a book in the Bible. First come, first serve. Should have them by September 15th. I wonder if these are still in stock. This dude would just be, naked in giant boxers. And there would be I wouldn't be seeing it. I would have to have like a special in to find this. Someone would have to let me know. But now the algorithm serves this stuff up and we're free to talk shit all we want, but we're going into this dude's world. That's kind of the way I see it. Crazy part is he made his vacuum bed, I think, as a sort of like a personal project, and he showed it to the world going, hey, check this out. And now he's got enough pre-orders that he's going to just start selling it. So clearly it's not that weird, right? Enough people like it. What's great too is he's selling it in different colors. He's selling it in solid colors. Now I'm just picturing like a big orgy, and they're offering sort of like VIP slots to like be the couch at the orgy. Then maybe there's a group that goes into this orgy and one of their people is sort of new to it all, and they turn to them and they go, hey, just as a, courtesy and sort of culture thing, be gentle when sitting on the couches. It's like, okay, sure. Why is that? Well, you never know if someone's in them. What? Yeah. Some of us like to be tied up. Some of us like to be the statement piece. You know what I mean? I know some of you would be at that orgy and you'd see that little snorkel tube sticking out the couch. I know your rank ass walk right up to it and Now, on the subject of things you maybe had no privilege or right to know about, there's also this. Before we move on from the master of plastic, which is what I want to call him, I really want to give this guy Candy Coated US on Instagram. Candy Coated US deserves its respect because, I mean, this guy, jokes aside, is like a structural genius in ways. I mean, he's making this thing. Seemingly in his spare time. To figure out how to do this in your home is crazy. That's the riveting piece of commentary I have for that. It's crazy. And he deserves his credit. Also like how there's a hole going out the back. You can definitely fart. You can definitely let one rip.
Our friend passed away while wearing a down suit that zipped up over the head. And this greatly restricted the amount of fresh air that he could get. His partner said that if he could have just set up a call with him or with somebody to say, I am doing this thing and it's dangerous, and I want you to call me on the phone at midnight or some particular time, and if I don't pick up 3 times in a row, I want you to come to my place, or I want you to call the paramedics. And that kind of thing probably could have saved him.
I think it goes without saying, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to buy, because you can buy this bed. I know some of you are probably into this. You can buy that bed right now. I would be remiss if I didn't say, if you want to imprison yourself in the forbidden bed, don't do it alone. It's worth having a pal, just in case. Speaking of things you didn't ask to know about, there's also this. Shout out to Zip Boy Latex. These products are simultaneously frightening and incredibly impressive. I mean, dude. By the way, latex in this world, you might think it's weird, but when you look at what latex is a milky fluid, typically white, found in many plants. I think it's right at home in this world. In fact, latex shouldn't be in hospitals. It should only be in the context of, I don't know, sexual exploration. That's how God intended it. Just in the design itself. I'll be honest, I wanted to buy one of these suits, but in terms of like shipping and stuff, it didn't work out. But these suits are insane. If I'm going to any kind of BDSM or a bondage type event, I won't. It's not my thing. I'll likely never end up there. But if I were to go, I'm definitely buying the muscle suit. Zip Boy Latex, I just gotta say it now, some Los Angeles creative is gonna come across these. They're going to try to use them for a music video and give you no credit. And if someone hits you up saying that they're a director, you need to charge them $50,000 per suit. I know you do it for the love of the game, but know your worth. These suits are incredible. They are works of art. And again, the algorithm just slopped this in front of me. Okay? And I don't know if this is me convincing myself I need one. That's the other crazy part, is the algorithm is, I think, maybe just softening me up to buy these things. For all you know, 2 weeks from now, I'm going to have the Zip Boy Latex bulk muscle suit, and I have my foot over my friend, who I have trapped into my vac bed from Candy Coated US just cuz. Is it just Candy Coated Us? I'm an idiot. Sorry, I'm just getting lost in the bulbousness of the suit. On the subject of getting dog walked through your algorithm, this one slid across my desk, and I don't want to show it to you. I bet these guys didn't have a single problem with COVID. You gotta mask up before you go outside. Oh, really? Woof woof, motherfucker. So this was in Belgium, a bunch of people walking around as dogs. Obviously, it's a kink, it's an interest, whatever you want to call it. I'm bringing this up because simultaneously, my algorithm also showed me a video about Florida Fetish Con. It was a couple weeks ago. I'm just going to read you the description from their website. It all started in 2000. This is an important thing to remember. Just keep this in mind. It all started in 2000 when Vesta and her husband Mike had this crazy idea to get a bunch of local models, a bunch of local producers, and their fans together and network like club shoots in the old days. From that innocent starting point, a fetish trade show was born. Try saying that 69 times fast. In late 2000, Genesis Lynn, Vesta, and Mike met and started working together and sharing shoots. Once that friendship was formed, Vesta happened to mention... Vesta is such a great name. Marvel name. Vesta happened to mention her original get-together they had just done in Florida before she and Mike moved to Connecticut. That one conversation went from a simple thought to a reality when the three friends decided to try another get-together, but on a much larger scale. Why not invite everyone? So they did. Literally, everyone they knew in the business was invited to come to New York for a massive weekend meet and greet to network with other fetish models and producers from all over the United States, and to give their fans a place to actually meet them as well, face to face. Knowing they needed to gather some iconic names to draw more fans, they invited Darla Crane, Stacy Burke, and Eve Ellis, three of the most popular and well-known bondage and fetish models of the time, and so began the first fetish trade show. To me, these are three random names: Darla, Stacy, and Eve. To some of you, that's your Jordan, Pippen, Rodman. To others, this is your Vino, Flixie, and Vico. I don't know who's at the top of the pro scene in Fortnite right now. I'm just going off of Google AI. At this point, I don't think I'm the only one getting kink blasted on Reels or TikTok. I feel everyone has seen some version of this.
Move your hands. Move your hands up. Put them up. Put your hands up. Up. You don't want to put them up? You don't want to listen?
Current time is 12:13.
No what? No what? Why are you covering them? You asked for this.
I don't want you to go all out.
I'm not going gentle. It's what?
Oh, God bless.
I like to imagine the guys from Jackass are studying this video like it's tape from another team. Just okay, so it seems like he tilts his pelvis slightly back. I mean, how's he taken 5 toes to the nuts so many times in a row? I mean, we couldn't get past 12. I mean, guys, we gotta figure something out, because I mean, if this guy is taking 15, 16 kicks on the nuts, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see us really being able to contend for the future. I mean, this is like pathetic. We don't even make it to 8 or 10 anymore. Funny to pay for this too, to be like, meet me in a parking lot, kick me in the nuts, and now it's happening. And you're going, well, all right. I know I said all that shit earlier. I was kind of horny. Feels a bit real now. What about a nudge? I feel like this guy getting his nuts kicked in the parking lot for Instagram, and these people who run FetishCon are cut from 2 different pieces of latex. The former, the FetishCon folks, the people who made it about community, I feel that they were really about it. They were doing it in a time where no one was watching. They would go to their regular job, I don't know, working as a travel agent, some shit like that, knowing that secretly they were going to go home and hook themselves to the ceiling, put themselves in a giant rubber ball and just sit there, and maybe even get kicked in the nuts. And it wasn't for anybody, it was just purely for the love of the game. And then you have this. So all this makes me wonder, these people that have been doing kinks forever, do they see these new school people and have that same attitude maybe that others have towards other creative endeavors, right? Oh, you want to get Han Solo'd in the bed because you're going to do what? You're going to post it online, right? Let me tell you something. If the cameras weren't on, would you still want to get Han Solo'd in the bed? Would you still imprison yourself in the waterbed? Yeah, you're not sure, are you? Yeah, that's right. Because you don't really know if you like it. Something told you to like it. Did the algorithm lead you to buy this bed and you thought, what if this is my thing? But you didn't know. When you bought that bed and you locked yourself in it, you still didn't know. And that's the difference. If the cameras weren't around, I'd know that I'd want to be locked in that bed. I know that I'd want to be put in the middle of an orgy for random people to just sit and talk and relax and damn near suffocate me. I know that that's where I want to be. I know that that's my happy place. You don't. You're just doing it for likes. I was getting kicked in the nuts before getting kicked in the nuts was cool. Do you understand? Back in '98, I used to call a dominatrix to meet me halfway to Tampa at a random Love's truck stop. And I'd be out there in the middle of nowhere getting my fucking nuts kicked in. People thought I was arguing with my wife. They didn't know. I was about to come. I was gonna cum my little fucking cargo shorts because that's the type of shit I was into. But you guys, you won't even hit up a dominatrix with less than 500 followers. I mean, you guys are pathetic. You always gotta have the most poppin' dominatrix kick you in the nuts. What about just a road dog? Would you pay the same prices for a dominatrix that has no online presence? Just someone who's been doing it? No, you wouldn't. Exactly. You don't have a kink. You just want to be popular.